Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Holly, and today I would love to share with you all things to consider before you start breastfeeding. I am a mother of 4 and I breastfed my last 2 babies. Alea is currently 2 and Ayana is 4 months, so I'm still currently breastfeeding her. And so I do have some things that I would love for all moms to consider before they start breastfeeding, during their breastfeeding, while they're breastfeeding, or however. Just I want you all to know this information because it is so very, very important. And I know I battled and dealt with some of these things on my list, and just learning from it, I want to be able to help you all make breastfeeding a very easy breezy experience. So stay tuned and I hope you all enjoy. I have 5 things to consider before you start breastfeeding. So starting with number 1 is, are you mentally prepared to breastfeed? Being mentally ready is so very, very important, because you just have to understand that you are waking up out of your sleep every 2 hours to feed baby. Baby needs his or her nutrients, so you have to give babies those boobies so they can get full and get all the nutrients and vitamins that they need. And just by breastfeeding, you're dealing with having to wake up, being the only person that can feed the baby. And I know for me, that was kind of like the biggest challenge. And I just felt like I was just quarantined in the house, just breastfeeding baby like every 2 hours. And then baby wants to suckle. Like if baby is not on a pacifier, baby wants you as a pacifier. Baby wants you as a soother. You're going to have those boobies ready. So it's just to mentally prepare yourself and just do a little more research. And it is good if you put baby on a routine. But when baby's hungry, baby is hungry. Like the baby would just eat on their hands or their fingers and they just want to eat. So you just have to feed baby. It's very, very important just to be mentally prepared. That is number 1. So number 2 is most definitely, I feel kind of ashamed when I first started breastfeeding, and I was out. I had to go to appointments. I had to go to the store. I had to go here. So I feel kind of ashamed. I was like, how am I supposed to do this? And so I learned like not to be ashamed. It is okay to breastfeed your babies out in public. And I do utilize a cover up or a receiving blanket just so I can have that privacy for myself. But I do breastfeed baby. When baby is hungry, baby got to eat. And like back in the day, nobody had covers ups. Nobody didn't even care about, who saw boobies or whatever. But nowadays, you just have to be careful because there's a whole lot of funny business going out there, and you just don't want nobody just to be all in your business in the wrong way. So that is number 2. And number 3 is most definitely be aware of what you are consuming. Either if it's before you decide to get pregnant, you're planning to get pregnant, you're pregnant, just understand that what you're eating, what you're consuming, what you're drinking, if you have any habits, smoking, whatever. So for me, I most definitely had to quit some of my bad habits because I knew that my milk needed to be the best thing for baby, and I did not want to be the cause of baby having any difficulties or any problems or outcomes because of what I was consuming. So I made sure that I ate healthy, drank plenty of fluids, asked the doctor about the medications that I was currently on. Are these okay for baby? And so everything turned out very fine. So you do want to be aware of the things that you're eating, your diet, what you're consuming, just to make sure that it's not harmful to baby. Okay, so number 4 is most definitely consider an alternative. If you are going to breastfeed, just make sure that you are aware of what is the second option. What are those second choices that is similar to mommy's breast milk? What milk would you choose if you were not able to breastfeed? I did have a friend that was breastfeeding her baby, and the baby had an allergic reaction to her breast milk. It was a protein in the breast milk, and the doctors wanted her to take her off the breast milk and put her on a formula. And so I know that can be very upsetting and just not what mommy wanted to do. So just consider an alternative, because sometimes we really don't know how our bodies are going to operate or what may cause us not to make enough milk supply or cause the baby to have an allergic reaction to mommy's milk. So most definitely just consider an alternative just in case. And I know it can be very upsetting. I most definitely know, because breastfeeding is a beautiful, wonderful thing, and the bonding connection is just so amazing. So just take that in consideration. And so with number 5, this is so very, very important, and this is the message that I want to get out there to all breastfeeding moms, and just to be aware and to make sure that if you do plan to breastfeed, your baby will most definitely need a supplement, and that supplement is vitamin D. Vitamin D is not passed through your breast to your baby, and if it is, it's in very small amounts. So the baby do need a supplement, and a lot of physicians, nurse practitioners, pediatricians, etc. in the doctor field, they will most definitely tell you that your baby is going to need vitamin D. And of course, make sure that you talk to your provider about it and ask them about the vitamin D, and tell them that you are breastfeeding. Do I need to have vitamin? Does my baby need to take vitamin D? Because vitamin D helps with bone formation, and this is how I became very familiar with this, because Ayana right here, she was born with a clavicle fracture, and they emphasized and stressed the issue about her consuming vitamin D. So I most definitely purchased the vitamin D, and they told me the amount to give her, and she has been taking vitamin D since she was a baby. I do have this brand of vitamin D that I give Ayana, and it comes with a little syringe, and you'll just draw up the amount required for your baby. And this is so very, very important. It will prevent a lot of bone deformations, and you can also look into that a little bit more. I know rickets is one. They also encouraged her to have her vitamin D, so it can help her clavicle fracture heal. It can help her bones become strong and form normally. So vitamin D is something that is so very, very important, that breastfeeding moms do consider, because it do not pass through breast milk, and if it does, it's in very small amounts. And just because we consume vitamin D through milk, the sun, our foods, or other supplements, it does not mean that it's passing through your breast. So most definitely look into that more and ask your physician about it if you do consider breastfeeding, or if you are breastfeeding and you have not put baby on vitamin D. It is so very, very important. You can also ask about iron too. I know a lot of times that some babies may need to have iron as well. And so also for mommy, it's so very, very important that we stay on our prenatal pills at least for 4 to 6 months after giving birth, because we lose so much after having a baby, and we need to make sure we refurbish what we lost. And like me, I lost so much blood, and this has a large amount of iron in it. It has so many other beneficial vitamins and minerals in here. It has B6, B12, vitamin E, vitamin D, iron, calcium, and folic acid, zinc. All of this stuff is so very, very important to help mommy rejuvenate back to her normal self. And so most definitely talk to your provider about this if you are breastfeeding, and even if you're not breastfeeding, I think that you should talk to your provider and ask her about viewing your prenatal pills, because it is so very important that we refurbish what we lost. And so you guys, I thank you so much for tuning in. And if you haven't heard of any of these things or know about these things, most definitely you can get a second opinion from your provider and talk to them and ask them about these things. I just learned from my experience that these were some of the important things that I had to be aware of and to consider during my breastfeeding experience. And so I hope this is a benefit to you all, and thank you guys so much for tuning in. And if you haven't already, like, comment, and subscribe below. See you guys next time. Bye.